St. Patrick's Day at the RDS means St. Patrick's Day at the RDS means it's Leinster Schools Senior Cup final day, and what a match we have in prospect live on Premier Sports this afternoon. Local bragging rights on offer as two titans of the school game go toe-to-toe. It's Blackrock College against St. Michael's. And a big crowd still taking their seats for this showpiece decider, and it's an occasion that rarely disappoints. Conditions absolutely perfect. Recent meetings between the two sides have been extremely close. Two abundantly talented teams in action, both hugely impressive in the earlier rounds of the competition, and they meet in a Senior Cup final for the first time in 11 years. Two powerhouses of the school game. Rock hoping for title number 71. St. Michael's back in the final for the first time since they won the last of their three Senior Cup titles in 2019. We're underway on Premier Sports at 1 o'clock. Yes, welcome along to the RDS on a happy St. Patrick's Day to you, one and all. Always great to be here for the Leinster Schools Senior Cup final. Bernard Jackman alongside me. Massive crowd, perfect conditions, and Blackrock against St. Michael's. It doesn't get much better than that. Let's talk about St. Michael's first and what they bring this year in the competition. We saw them in the semi-final dethrone the reigning champions Gonzaga 32 points to nil. They are a strong, strong team.
Yeah, look, the Michael's are very, very strong. Huge amount of representative players, and have been very impressive in this competition, particularly that win against Gonzaga in the rain, where they just implemented a very good kicking game, very good defensive game, set piece, and played the conditions incredibly well. And you know, that was a good Gonzaga team, but they made them look average, and that takes some doing. So they will be very much confident from that, but they know Rock are a serious opponent, and yeah, it's set up nicely.
Yeah, Michael's back, interestingly, in the final, as I said, for the first time since 2019. But as I was chatting to Andy Skehan earlier, Blackrock, the only side to have beaten Michael since they last won it. Rock, no strangers to finals, third in a row. Of course, we saw them lose to Gonzaga in a pulsating final, 9 tries 12 months ago. And in their semi-final match against St. Mary's, a very strong St. Mary's side, they made them look very ordinary.
Yeah, they did, and they played with a lot more wit than they had earlier on. The Cup showed a real good balance to their game, were ruthless against Mary's, and that was likewise a good Mary's side. So they have the best performance, I think, you know, coming into this. But the final will be different. We saw last year the game went, you know, from one side to the other, and it's about dealing with the pressure, dealing with the nerves, and I suppose also the impact from the bench. And both teams have had really strong bench in this competition, so it's going to be fascinating to see how this game plays out.
As I said, still filling up. Maybe that's because both sets of supporters don't have too far to travel. They're both from just down the road. Local bragging rights, proximity between the two schools. They know each other's games. The coaches know each other. It's a real added dimension.
Yeah, look, they've been playing against each other since some of them 4th or 5th class in primary school, you know, and a lot of them played together for Leinster over the course of the summer. So they know each other inside out, but it's now they're representing their school, they're representing their families. The atmosphere here is as good as anything they're going to get in the next 4 or 5 years in pro rugby, and yeah, hopefully do themselves justice.
Yeah, it's a massive marker, a big occasion in their burgeoning, fledgling rugby careers. What we do know from both sides today is they'll be expertly coached. Two brilliant coaching teams behind either schools. And let's hear now from inside the camp. I had a chat with both head coaches. Justin, good to see you as always. Wonderful conditions for what's always a tremendous occasion. No doubt a massive buzz around the school this week.
Listen, we've been busy enough actually with exams, so it's been pretty low-key, which I think has been the way we've been quite happy about. We could just recover appropriately and then just get back to our own work and doing our own jobs.
We spoke after the semi-final victory, a massively impressive win against a really strong St Mary's side when you brought your best rugby of the campaign. No doubt you'll be looking to reproduce that today.
To be honest, Conor, we got no choice. Going to have to, I mean, finals are there to be won. We have to go out there and actually take it. And we know our opponents, St Michael's, are a fine side who certainly won't take any backward steps.
Talk to me about their game and specifically what you might have spoken about in the week as to how to combat what they'll bring.
Well, I think you've got to bring physicality first and foremost. I mean, the game is what it is. You've got to be able to win those collisions, contact areas, make smart decisions. And, we've got to make sure that we find space and don't just run into them, at the same time. So it's getting that balance. And in terms of themselves, I'm sure they're going to look to try and play a pressure game. But they have the ability and skill to be able to move the ball to space as well. So it's going to be a challenge.
I was looking back through the 3 or 4 most recent encounters. Last season semi-final, the first round the season before that. Basically nothing between these sides. Massive local rivalry. It's really all on the line today, isn't it?
It is. I mean, it's the way a final should be, We kind of need each other, and I think we're seeing all the schools really stepping up. But I think it kind of helps to have someone local down the road who really keeps you honest.
Talk to me about the players these last few minutes before a big final like this and how they've been all week. Nerves, no doubt, but excitement, I'm sure.
Just we're really privileged to be here. I said earlier in the competition, it's such a wonderful competition. You all strive to be here when we start out at the beginning of the year, and they know they're very fortunate and ready to grab it with both hands.
Andy, great to see you as always. Cracking day for Leinster Schools Senior Cup final here at the RDS. St Michael's back in the decider for the first time since you last won the trophy in 2019. Massive excitement around the school, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. If you think about, our boys who are playing in the final today would have been in first or second year. So there's obviously been the COVID disruption as well. There's actually only been 2 finals since we played in it. Massive excitement. Obviously, it's a bit nervy for the players, but we feel they're in a good place and should put in a good performance today.
Certainly put on a very commanding performance at the semi-final stage to dethrone the reigning champions Gonzaga and keep them to 0 on the scoreboard. What have you worked on over the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, so I suppose we've been just trying to keep the players fresh. We've obviously prepared specifically for some of the Blackrock threats. They're a little bit different than Gonzaga. Gonzaga run a lot of ball from deep. Blackrock probably play a traditional Blackrock game. They're very strong up front, good kick game. Forwards are very strong and they're very competitive when they get near the goal line. So we need to make sure that we're very physical and we match that threat.
It's another dimension, no doubt, with the local bragging rights, that proximity between the two schools. A lot of really, really tight battles in recent history between the two.
Yeah, so, actually, the 2 finals that we haven't appeared in, we ran into Blackrock earlier in the competition. So last year, semi-final was super tight. We were winning at half-time. We lost 17-14. Probably didn't get the rub of the green on that day. And then the year before that, it was a first-round clash. And we were on the try line as the game was called up, and it was 25-20. And then Blackrock went on to win the tournament without really being stretched again. So 2 really tight games. We're meeting in the final today, which is fantastic for both sets of schools and their supporters, all the families and players. So we definitely feel, based on evidence of past, it's really competitive. If you look at the last 3 games between us, I think in the cup matches, it's Rock are up +2 in 3 games in terms of the score differential.
You've set it up there really nicely. I wish you the very best of luck today.
Thanks very much.
Even the 2 head coaches, a little bit of nervous excitement around on Leinster Schools Senior Cup final day. It is perfectly set up, perfectly poised. 2 big rivals, local rivals, 2 titans of the game. Filling up nicely at the RDS. The first half is live when we come back very shortly. Always a great occasion on St. Patrick's weekend, and this one falling on St. Patrick's Day, and that is what it is all about. Will it be Blackrock or St. Michael's adding their name yet again to that piece of silverware? The Blackrock head coach, Justin Vanstone, has selected an unchanged starting 15 from that hugely impressive semi-final win over St. Mary's at Donnybrook. Derry Maloney scored a hat-trick as Rock ran in 8 tries. Tight head prop Niall Smith scored 2 tries for the second match. Running fullback Charlie Maloney was on the try sheet after only 18 seconds. This Blackrock side, captained today by Jack Angelo at number 8, one of 5 players who started last year's final defeat to Gonzaga here. The Aylesbury Road side, St. Michael's, make 1 enforced late change from the semi-final win over Gonzaga in horrendous conditions. David Price unfortunately ruled out with a hip injury, so Dan Ryan comes in off the bench to start on the right wing. Dan Hassett is added to the bench at number 23. James Sherwin captains the side from scrum half with the brilliant all-court game of Joe Quigley alongside him. Sam Corrigan at 8 and tight head Rian Coogan provide Michaels with an abundance of go-forward ball. Dewin Maguire likewise a destructive carrier and a prolific try scorer. So perfect timing. Here come the teams then, and first out into the bright St. Patrick's Day sunshine at the RDS in front of a vociferous and huge crowd is Blackrock College, hoping to get their name on the trophy for a 71st time. Beaten in a 9-try thriller by Gonzaga 12 months ago here at the RDS. They won the trophy against the same opposition the year previous in 2022, also winners in 2018. Time-honoured tradition, they go through the pre-match routines and rituals, tried and tested, and now it's all about game face and focus. First possession, first carry, first tackle, all the training, all the prep, all comes down to this. St. Michael's keeping Blackrock waiting for just a second or two. They're ready to emerge from the dressing rooms over on the far side. Conditions-wise, aside from the beautiful sunshine, there is a significant enough breeze whipping around here as James Sherwin leads out this St. Michael's College side. David Walsh in behind him, the totemic second row alongside Fraser McKenna. A real powerful unit for this St. Michael's side. Good to see David Walsh fit to take his place in the starting lineup today. Struggling a little bit in recent weeks with a back injury, but he's such an important player for the St. Michael's side as they look to get their hands on the trophy for a 4th time, and for the first time, as I mentioned pre-game, since 2019. 11 years since these two went toe-to-toe in a final, and what a match with so much talent that was 11 years ago. Rock won that one by 23 points to 20. Always looking for that 1% advantage, a little grinding, breathing exercise to try and get the heart rate down. Pulses racing, of course. It's a massive occasion in their fledgling young careers. Sam Holtz is the man in charge, and we do, for the final, have a TMO, John Carville, if he is required over the course of the next 70 minutes or so.
All white players behind.
Tremendous occasion, a brilliant crowd, perfect conditions, local rivalry, bragging rights on the table, and silverware at the end of the day if they can be separated. It's all set up, and the 2024 Leinster Schools Senior Cup final underway.
Use it!
Start strongly, Sam Corrigan in possession. He'll be so important at number 8 at the base of that forward pack. Scored a lovely try against Castleknock in the first round when Michaels won by 34 points to 5.
And here's the blue.
Came through then against Earlier College in the quarterfinals before dethroning Gonzaga in some style in the semi-final. Derry Maloney, as I mentioned, scored a hat-trick of tries as Rock ran in 8 in the semi-final. Brilliant broken field counter-attacking threat from that Blackrock back 3. As Bernard was saying pre-game, they played lots of ball in the early stages in the semi-final game and perhaps caught St. Mary's a little by surprise with their expansive game, and that's how they've started today. Jack O'Neill on that open side flank is a menace for Rock all day. He found himself in a wide channel there, and O'Shaughnessy. Now this is good hands from Blackrock. Conditions getting ever more difficult, and it's that man, Derry Maloney. Breaks the tackle on the far side. James Sherwin did just enough to scrag him.
Backwards.
All the while, O'Shaughnessy pulling the strings and bringing Tommy Butler, one of 5 players with big game experience, into the carry in the centre of the field. Michael's over the ball. Still available, though, for Blackrock, and Albert Lindner can try and get his side moving again as they reorganise. It's ball in play for almost 2 minutes now as Rock take Michaels through the phases up into double figures now. They fold around the corner and get the ball into the hands of the destructive Niall Smith. 4 tries in his last 2 games. Passing channel blocked off by Dan Ryan. Shrill blast, Blackrock penalty. Great start.
Oh, great intent from Blackrock. Exactly like the start of the match against Mary's. Playing that wide pattern and using Jack O'Neill, the small in height, wing forward, but so powerful on the carry, and he got him a little bit go forward and then all the way across to Derry Maloney, and just their skill set and their ability to recycle the ball. And eventually we just see it here on the replay, just a high tackle from Dan Ryan. It's a lovely dummy from O'Connor O'Shaughnessy. It's on the next phase here, and Niall Smith again carrying the ball, but just here, just make sure we're hinging at the pumps the ball, shows and goes, and just unfortunately Dan Ryan just managed to creep up a little bit high there. And the wind is really significant. I'm not sure if it's favouring any team at the moment, but seriously going across the field. But that makes Blackrock's opening sequence even more impressive, just the ability to get their catch pass right.
Some early treatment required for Mark Walsh.
Yeah, 1 of 2 brothers in the Blackrock team. Mark Walsh was very impressive last year in the Cup. Real all-action centre and both centre partnerships. Mark Walsh and Charlie Woodcock for Blackrock, and Charlie McConnell and Ethan Black for Michaels. They will have a massive bearing on who wins this game.
We think back to the semi-final between Blackrock and St Michael's last season at Donnybrook. St Michael's won't need reminding of the name of Mark Walsh. He was the player over the ball in the 74th minute of the game to win the turnover that sent Blackrock to the final against Gonzaga and knocked Michael's out effectively. Pulsating game in terrible conditions between the two sides. Much fairer today, albeit with this stiffening breeze. Excellent opportunity now from the line-out platform for Jack Pollard to launch. And this Blackrock side, 7 or 8 metres shy of the Michaels line on the offensive inside the opening 2.5 minutes here, and the delivery was good, the take was solid. Pollard now breaks away and he's under pressure. Fraser McKenna makes the tackle and forces the Blackrock hooker back a little bit. You have a number for it? They come again with the aforementioned Charlie Woodcock. Good to see him back, injured in one of the earlier rounds and forced to miss the quarter-final. Pick and go, but the referee has spotted an infringement. We're going back for, I think it was at line-out time.
Yeah, I think Fraser McKenna
coming through early. Your timing right.
Yeah, just got a little bit early on that. You just see then he creeps up, lifts the leg. But from Michael's point of view, I think it's worth taking the risk to infringe a little bit early there. With these conditions, there's a strong chance of something going wrong with the line out. So the maul is a very important part of Blackrock's game.
Maul.
Oh, around the fringes they go, and the power comes in from Niall Smith. Referee's in position, and Blackrock are on the score sheet inside 4 minutes.
Yeah, once he broke out there, we've seen him carry so much ball for Blackrock, scoring tries for him. That's probably the easiest one he scored so far in the Cup. Just shifts away to the left, gets one-on-one with Sherwin, who's in the channel. You see how quickly they get this together. Just come forward into that space in the front. He rips, he breaks out after 2 seconds, and then it's incredibly difficult to hold him up. Both Dan Ryan and James Sherwin try their best. It looks like for a second to get under him, but referee's perfectly positioned, and dream debut to this match for Blackrock.
Superb score. He knows his power and his strength. 2 tries in the semi-final, as I said, against St Mary's. 2 tries in the previous round when they were under pressure against Ross Gray, and he comes up with a big moment in the showpiece final 4 minutes into the game. Perfect start for Blackrock. Has he measured that thumping kick And the wind is blowing from left to right across the pitch, and that's what just caught it at the end. So it remains 5 points to 0.
Yeah, great effort. Mark Walsh is still getting some treatment, just getting strapped up on his knee there. His brother Brian Walsh on the bench.
Time is off. There's a player getting strapped up here.
Yeah, let's hope he's okay. He's a key player, as we've been saying. You don't want to see any player have to leave the final so early in the game. Let's hope he can
Time on.
run that off. He doesn't look particularly comfortable. So Michaels stung early, pinned back on the defensive for the opening 5 minutes of the game. Impressive start for Blackrock.
Use it.
Going through the phases
That's
for
carried back.
3-4 minutes, really settling into the game, finding their rhythm.
Use
Now
it.
looking to find their kicking game.
That's carried back.
Lindner from the base, and he's under real pressure, charged on by David Walsh. Quickly around the corner to shut down all the space, and it's going to be difficult for Blackrock to play their way out of this kind of position with this breeze that I'm speaking of. Seems to be picking up almost by the minute here.
And use it.
Yeah, great pressure from Walsh. He's getting after the
All in front, wait.
exit now, forces a bit of a missed kick.
O'Shaughnessy too, his opposite number, Joe Quigley. Big tackle in midfield. This game will not lack intensity or physicality. You can be absolutely sure about that. Both packs of forwards really, really strong. Sherwin to Quigley. Out the back he goes to Charlie McConnell, who was really impressive the last day against Gonzaga. Carries brilliantly, he's got so much power. Quigley, as he overcooked that, it's only a couple of feet, but it makes a difference, and they'll go back 20, 30 metres.
Yeah, it's a big feature of Quigley's game, isn't it? He's got the running game, but also he has the kicking game, and normally so accurate. It just shows you how tricky that wind is to judge, but he will look to try and pin those edge defenders of Blackrock back, and then eventually pull the trigger and go through the hands. But little error there gives Blackrock a chance to relieve a bit of pressure.
Jack Pollard will be very aware of St. Michael's line-out steal threat from Fraser McKenna and David Walsh. They haven't over-competed in the airs just yet. The opening 7 minutes of the game. Lindner gets the moving again to Michael Walsh this time. Tackle release from Sam Corrigan.
Carry back into 50.
All the play in the opening 7.5 minutes from Blackrock, and again a lovely little feint and go from Charlie Woodcock with a red scrum cap into Conor O'Shaughnessy.
That's really nice play from O'Shaughnessy. He's looking to pull the trigger a little bit wider out, looking at Charlie Woodcock out the back of some forward runners, but then when the momentum is halted, no problem just driving it down the line, putting a bit of pressure on Michael's line out and see if they can get any change out of that. But
it's Joe Elliott wearing number 6 in the back row for St. Michael's, receiving some attention.
Yeah.
But what a start for Blackrock. Off set piece from the line out, that peel around the front from Niall Smith.
yeah, really smart. You can see Michael's put so much focus on stopping that drive. Weren't expecting that it'll break down the blind side. And as he said, Niall Smith has probably been one of the most impressive. He's been the most impressive player for me from Blackrock in this competition. And David Walsh has been the most impressive player for Michaels. And both are going to have big games if their schools are going to lift the cup.
So let's hope that, like Mark Walsh on the Blackrock side, that Joe Elliott for St. Michael's is okay and happy to continue.
Water off. Robbie, just hold the shoulder for a second there. That's your mark there.
Rian Coogan is the St. Michael's number 3 on the pitch, the all-important. He too will be a vital cog if Michael's are to have their say in this final. Fraser McKenna, brilliant take. As Bernard said, testing defensive lineup for St. Michael's.
Don't change.
Tricky conditions, they've done well, and they're still going. They're well set here. Nice cohesion, low body parts brought down clearly in front of Sam Holt by Blackrock.
Yeah, look at Fraser McKenna celebrating that. Just got to try and find a weakness in this Blackrock team, and they've just shown that their maul maybe has their number, and obviously that could be a big factor. But just so well built. You see, watch Fraser McKenna, number 5 here at the front. just working so hard, trying to make sure that he deals with any Blackrock player who tries to break through that seam, and then eventually Blackrock are team to pull it down.
So they'll look to revisit that maybe 60 or 70 metres further up the field when the opportunity will arise.
Okay, water off, please.
A lively opening, 8.5 minutes then. You can see deliberately Quigley is going for one of those low kind of wiper style kicks to try and take the breeze out of it. It's a reasonable gain of ground.
Huge crowd still coming in here, Connor. The south stand.
Blue step in, please.
Yeah, massive crowd, yeah. We're looking to find space for everyone there. You see the ball flight in the wind, really disruptive. O'Shaughnessy, he's got so much experience. It's his third final in a row. He was off the bench as a replacement in 2022 when Blackrock won against Gonzaga, won handsomely. And then he started last year when things didn't go their way.
And use it, White.
A really accomplished, talented ball court number 10. Lindner taking responsibility, and this will hold up in the breeze and come back the other way almost. Good take. Really difficult. That's lovely from Pat Wood.
Leaving now, White.
Doohan Maguire, the more that Michaels can get him with ball in hand to try and get an advantage line all afternoon, the better. Quigley's done well just to keep hold of that. That was really difficult. I looked for sure we were going to get the first scrum of the afternoon. Now it's a penalty.
Quite sloppy from Michaels there. Brilliant take in the air from Pat Wood, but just the two phases after that just mixed. It wasn't clear who the first receiver is going to be. You see there, his forward's kind of in front of Quigley. He does really well to get back to the gain line. And then again here, just that pass goes to the wrong man, and Joe Elliott just gets caught in front.
O'Shaughnessy just making absolutely sure, and he brings his team up to about 12 metres out from that Michaels try line.
Let's get your timing right now, Blue, okay? Good timing if you come through.
Great take, good delivery. Oh, referee's whistle is gone.
Yeah, and you just see there, both hookers struggling a little bit with the wind. Incredibly strong. Blackrock missed the opportunity to get points out of that 22 entry. It'll be interesting as the first scrum of the game. See how both packs match up in this area.
That's Paddy Moore closest to the camera on the Blackrock loosehead side. Jack Pollard inside him, and then Niall Smith, the try scorer at tight head. It's Billy O'Donoghue, Doohan Maguire and Rian Coogan. Hugely powerful tight head for Michaels, and plenty of bulk and size from the 2 second rows behind them.
Stand up. Space on this side. Okay, get it right.
It's brilliant to see such a huge crowd in for the Schools Cup final. The RDS still filling up.
I spent the week in Cheltenham, Connor, and I had more people asking me were I coming to the RDS Saturday than I was were they coming to the Aviva. It's a huge part of, I suppose, Leinster Schools programme and system.
All in front, wait. Okay, all on.
It's a great kick by Quigley.
That's a brilliant kick. Massive reliever all the way up beyond the 10 metre line from where he was. That's huge.
I'll have a look. That's you there.
So Pollard again, he has to try and counteract that breeze. He's got away with that one. That's okay to Donnacha Maguire. Leinster Schools under-18 captain. Now Blackrock again with that flare and the flourish out the back, and they get it into the hands of O'Flaherty. Lovely step. Has he got the support back on the inside? Good clear out and quick ball for Lindner. Blackrock in prime field position here. 13 minutes in, already a try to the good. O'Shaughnessy, delivery is really good again. Into Walsh, and they recycle quickly, straight in front of those Michaels posts, and Mark Walsh this time. Thankfully showing no ill effects to that heavy strapping just yet on his right leg. Taken on by the captain, Jack Angelo. Big strong carry from the skipper. Pollard again. Michael Walsh on his shoulder on the latch, and they come around the corner. Michaels looking to fill the field and stay connected in defence. O'Shaughnessy kept ball in hand this time, and Lintner once again. Niall Smith on the carry again. Heavily prominent. Paddy Moore this time.
No release.
Michaels over the ball.
No
Referee says hands away, and they go again with Michael Walsh.
And release blue.
Big tackle from David Walsh. O'Shaughnessy out the back a little bit deeper this time from Blackrock, and straight away across to Brian O'Flaherty. He's got a lovely step, and he's elusive and pacey. Michaels get across in time, and they win the penalty, and that is a big relief to St Michael's.
That's huge, because it takes David Lucy and Eden Black together to force that turnover. Just did enough to stop Brian O'Flaherty getting a clear ball presentation, but he's so dangerous. That this is him at the end here, but we saw the footwork he had, which gave Blackrock the initial momentum. Just overplays it there. He's got one chance to present that. He's on his knees. Rock are just so impressive so far, their skill set, because they're able to throw the long pass over the top of that blitz defence for Michaels, and they're getting serious yardage on that 50-metre channel. I'm really impressed by O'Shaughnessy. This is like by far his best performance in terms of his ability to spray passes off his left and right hand.
There's going to be a switch on the St Michael's team. It looks to me as though Miles Berman has come in wearing number 19.
Yeah, I think that's Joe Elliott, is it? The number 6 gone off.
Yeah.
Just over on 22.
Miles Berman, a talented young player, of course, Junior Cup captain. It is Joe Elliott who's gone off.
Yeah, Berman's been a big part off the bench for Michaels. Loads of experience. Really wiry, athletic back row.
Back 10.
They won't lose anything for his entry.
Dewey Maguire endeavouring to find David Walsh. It's so difficult in there. There is Miles Berman with 19 on his back, looking to get into the thick of things straight away, but Blackrock have turned that over. It wasn't clean line-out possession. Lintner, O'Shaughnessy, all on the bounce here. Didn't quite get his angle correct, and it does go all the way dead.
Yeah, the idea was right, just probably lacking a little bit of communication with his right winger Derry Maloney. I don't think he was ready for the kick.
Scrum option chosen.
Just at the line out, Blackrock are putting a lot of pressure on David Walsh. You know, they know Michaels go to him so often. They're covering both in front and behind him, so it's very difficult for the hooker, Dewey Maguire, to find space.
So disappointment for Joe Elliott, but his misfortune is an opportunity for Miles Berman to
Crouch.
stamp his imprint on this final.
Set.
Just that one score in the 4th minute. That's a big shove from St Michael's. They can't continue to push, of course, just 1.5 meters at this age grade.
All on.
Low clearance kick. Charlie Maloney. He's been excellent in this Senior Cup competition this year.
Backwards.
Try after 18 seconds, as I mentioned, in the semi-final against St Mary's.
And use it. No.
It's been a feature of this competition this year, early tries.
Use it, White. Get back. All on.
Lintner. He sends it long this time, and 2 Michaels players going for it. Quigley takes responsibility. Time and space for Maloney, and no kick is easy in these conditions.
Yeah, really cool by Maloney there. I don't know if I'd be letting that ball bounce, but there wasn't a bother on him. He just stayed calm, Quigley just trying to find grass. But he dealt with it superbly.
Again, the wind has caught hold of that, and it's going to be Blackrock possession.
Not on the ball.
Kicking game's extremely interesting now, given that lineouts are a little bit of a lottery. All the way wide once again to Brian O'Flaherty, who's seen a good amount of ball in the opening 17 minutes. Most of the action in the semi-final from a Blackrock point of view was on the right-hand side against St Mary's, and again they're making ground, forcing tackles, strong carries, using their physicality. O'Shaughnessy, missile of a pass on his inside. Lintner now, this is quick and slick from Blackrock. They've hit the ground running, to say the least, here, and they're asking lots of questions of this Michael defence.
Stay on. Yeah, I agree.
That's okay. Ball's going backwards.
That was brilliant by Pat Wood. He saved that. Took a gamble, came in off his wing. But a Rock defence, our attack is so sharp so far.
Ball gathering pace.
Retreat now.
From that wind, and Mark Walsh sends it back down the field towards halfway and into the hands of Joe Quigley. Stopped in his tracks. We haven't really seen Michaels have a concerted period possession, taking Rock through the phases and finding any real kind of rhythm. Sam Corrigan that time goes to ground, and Michaels recycle just beyond the 10-metre line with Rian Coogan into contact. Angelo makes a good tackle, and Tommy Butler there as well. Up quickly out of that Rock defensive line. There's O'Shaughnessy, shoulder to the pump as well. All hands on deck here. A long way out for Michaels. They're finding life difficult. Quigley barking out the orders, and the orders are to kick chase down into the 22. Options here for Blackrock, and they look sharp with Mark Walsh. Woodcock now, tricky bounce. He's adjusted well before he's tackled by David Lucy.
Use it now, White.
Taken on by Paddy Moore, breaks the tackle, back to his feet. Again, they make meters beyond contact. Michaels having to shuffle back as quickly as possible. Now under penalty advantage. What will be the option for Jack O'Neill? Lindner.
Still playing advantage.
That was on the arm of the scrum half. O'Shaughnessy still with that advantage. And nothing comes off the kick chase from O'Flaherty.
Yeah, again, it's just disappointing from St Michaels. Obviously, their line-out has struggled, so they haven't had any launch.
13.
But off transition play, they're just not really getting anything out of this defence. Great carry from Paddy Moore. Gets 4 or 5 metres after contact, and again, it's Jack O'Neill with another big carry. And every time Niall Smith has carried the ball, he's been a monster. So Michaels are forced to kick the ball probably a little bit earlier than they want, and aren't really getting any change out of the kick chase. So, but again, it's Blackrock's ability to get the ball to the width. That's probably been the most impressive part of this first 20 minutes.
Yeah, please.
Well, they've been under the pump a little bit in the opening 20 minutes of this game, so perhaps the fact that they find themselves just the 5 points in arrears is cause for optimism. Blackrock, hugely impressive so far. Plenty of instruction and orders onto the field for St Michaels as to how to cope with this Blackrock threat.
Yep.
The second half of this first half. The beanie hat of Scott Penny, who's part of a big coaching ticket. He's marshalled things exceptionally well in the opening 20 minutes here, Conor O'Shaughnessy. Might have liked a little bit more distance on his kick, seemed to be a little bit annoyed, but you can't take anything for granted with the wind, nor indeed with the throw. Pollard has done well again. Now and then. Rock and Michaels do here. Try and stop this Blackrock juggernaut. They've done well initially, and they've got David Walsh in there with hands around. And they're going to get the turnover here. That's brilliant from the Michaels second row. It's a big play.
Yeah, they needed that. Just real momentum with Blackrock. At first, Blackrock's line-out's been excellent. Pollard's just thrown it over that front pod into that space, but Walsh, he doesn't get up in the air, but he gets his hands through there. And to be honest, Michaels will be delighted with the score. You know, 5-0, given how Blackrock have been so impressive.
Okay, guys, let's come up.
They know that normally they'll get their chance, momentum will turn a little bit, and they have the firepower to make it count when it does.
Well, he had the game smarts as well, didn't he, David Walsh, to look at Sam Holt and say, Maul, I've got hands on here. He knew he was in prime turnover position.
Bind. Set.
Too early from Blackrock, yeah, clearly.
3 not holding his weight. Coming too early. 3, just timing.
So many talented sides in the Senior Cup competition this season, but by reflection of the semi-finals, certainly the two strongest teams over the course and distance meeting in the final. You consider that in that semi-final game against St Mary's, Blackrock scored 35 points without reply in the last 32 minutes of the game. It was massively impressive. So too Michael's ability to cope with the conditions, which were horrendous at Donnybrook against Gonzaga.
Yeah, if you look at the win now and look at the assistant referee's flag, it looks like it's favouring Michaels in a big way, but I think it's very blustery, very unpredictable. It's a great throw.
It really is. Jack Pollard has figured things out on the hoof here as he's had to. Jack Angelo will carry all afternoon, leading by example. And again, there's that wide to wide, brilliant sweeping pass to release Derry Maloney. Lovely take from the winger. The difficulty attached to those passes on an afternoon like this cannot be overstated. It was absolutely on the money. Now Conor O'Shaughnessy, he's carried well as well today, so he's keeping St Michael's honest in terms of his options here, and they're sweeping left to right. Options both sides. Back against the green they go with Lindner again. Blackrock this time getting a breakdown penalty. Michael's adjudged to not roll away quick enough.
Yeah, good line out. Good, really good skills and execution to go from left to right to put Derry Maloney away, and then just as the penalty here. The problem for Michaels is they're on the back foot, a lot of phases. And just eventually then they start to panic a little bit. Really impressive attacking display from Blackrock so far. Really impressive, the two brothers. Michael Walsh, the wing forward, and Mark Walsh, inside centre. Walsh is a very good hurler as well. Won a Dublin Minor Championship with Clonagale. Lots of these lads will be super all-rounders. You know, we know Quigley, we spoke about him before. He's on the Dublin Minors in football. A lot of them are playing multi-sports and only make a decision then when they leave school what they're going to follow.
Yeah, go ahead and do it now. 20 seconds, kicker.
Yeah, it's a lovely strike. They've had to wait patiently for 20 minutes to get their second score of the game. A long time has passed since that Niall Smith try in the 4th minute, but 25 minutes almost on the watch, and 3 points added from the kicking tee for Conor O'Shaughnessy. They've had to work hard for that.
Yeah, we know this Michael's defence is really organised. You are going to have to fight for every point you're going to get, but they'll be delighted now to add that extra score on, make it a 2-score game. And we look just to exit here.
Away 2! Just lost forward between the
Good take initially, and then it's been spilled forward. So
yeah, and you can't help but feel Michaels need that little break in play. This is the first decent set-piece opportunity they've had in the scoring zone as such. Midfield scrum, they've got a lot of pace and power, both sides of it. Dan Ryan, who came in for David Price, big, tall, powerful winger here on the right-hand side.
Yes, the start here then. Yeah. Crouch!
Just confirmation that Johnny O'Sullivan has come in for Derry Maloney, maybe on that burst on that right-hand side. We think he's tweaked a hamstring, so he has gone off. That's a big loss for Blackrock, albeit Johnny O'Sullivan, lots of experience and very talented in his own right. It's just not quite clicking at the moment for Michaels, not yet at least.
Yeah, just overrunning things. Just doesn't look to be as slick or as fluid as Blackrock have settled into this game, and that can often happen with youngsters. It's been a couple of years since Michael has been in the final, and just here you just see it's like David Lucy is overrunning that, or expect a lot more of them. It's early days yet, and they will get momentum at some stage.
didn't quite go to hand for Ethan Black. Really talented player. 2 lovely tries against Gonzaga.
Out now.
Options on that short side for O'Shaughnessy. He's really settled into this game exceptionally well in the first half.
Yeah, excellent again. Throw again from Pollard. Targeting big Donica Maguire at the tailed line, and from there, because they mauled it back, it opens up a blind side. You see O'Shaughnessy, he just bounces down the blind side and just breaking tackles there and puts a little kick in behind. He wants that to stay in, even though it's obviously a huge territorial gain. His relationship with Linder has been really, really positive. Both of them making smart decisions. It's a good take.
Crucial take, really important that Fraser McKenna got his hands on that. And a good clearance kick to boot. So disappointing, as I said, for Derry Maloney, such a talented and dangerous player. But Johnny O'Sullivan was part of the Blackrock side that started the final against Gonzaga 12 months ago here. Can he keep this rich vein of form going? That's another good delivery to Donegan Maguire again from Pollard, who was infringed upon in the air. So penalty advantage here for Blackrock as Mark Walsh takes it on.
Leave it 8, off your feet.
Lindner finding O'Shaughnessy a little bit deeper this time, and they sweep it wide, so O'Flaherty had to just stop in his tracks to collect that. Did well to get it almost a little bit behind him on his heels, and Angelo again is the first point of contact on that heavy carry.
Yeah, but they got a free ball though because they're on a penalty advantage.
O'Shaughnessy, he's carried really, really well as what he's done with the boot, and now numbers to the left-hand side. Woodcock draws in cover. O'Sullivan now presses the accelerator, manages just about to stay in field, and here comes some big carriers. Maloney, he's quick and elusive, but he's also very powerful. Paddy Moore, Niall Smith poised. They go a little bit further inside instead. Blackrock in prime field position here to try and add a second try. Donegan Maguire is the option. Jack O'Neill on his shoulder. 29th minute of the game. Michaels again on the defensive and fighting for their lives, but they can't withstand the pressure. Blackrock get their second try, and it's Michael Walsh who crashes over.
Yeah, brilliant play again. They were on the penalty advantage, but it's their ability of Charlie Woodcock in particular. He takes the deep pass out the back. This is the end of it here. That's O'Shaughnessy just taking the ball to the line. Brilliant tap tackle there, but a loose head from Michaels, Billy O'Donoghue, but just on the front foot, and again they get the edge here. And it looks like Michaels can maybe put him into touch, but once they don't, once Blackrock can recycle that ball, it's pretty relentless. It's big carry after big carry, and then it's just see here, they're so focused on that primary picker that they lose 2 defenders, and that opens up the hole for Michael Walsh to score. It's been a feature of both teams in this cup. Once they get 5 yards out, they very rarely let you off the hook. And you know, from Michael's point of view, they're saying, how can we get that opportunity? Because at the moment, they don't seem to have any answers to this Blackrock defence.
Conversion duly added. 15 points to 0. 30 minutes into the contest. Yeah, we heard Andy Skehan mention specifically in pre-game. They've prepped for it, but it's so difficult to stop. His body position here, Michael Walsh, is excellent. Straight, low to ground, driving the legs. It's a big 5 minutes or so as we tick towards half-time for St. Michael's now. Holding up and coming back to, it was almost like a boomerang shot from O'Shaughnessy. He came back to the advancing Blackrock player. Paddy Moore carries again.
Use it now, Ice.
Again, they want to play out the back, feeds it to shape to kick, and there's a big hole for Charlie Maloney. He's so difficult to stop, and he's got support on his outside. Maloney still going, back inside to O'Flaherty.
Penalty advantage.
And again, it's penalty advantage for Blackrock, and they are beginning to put Michaels to the sword here. The further this half wears on, brilliant counter-attack again. Jack O'Neill still going. Jack O'Neill, he's got very, very close to the line there. O'Shaughnessy calling the shots, and the call is to go wide. O'Flaherty taking the ground by Charlie McConnell. They recycle again. Some of those big ball carriers lined up with latches on their shoulder. Niall Smith stopped in his tracks. That's a brilliant two-man tackle. Lintner fatiguing bodies now, particularly on the Michaels side of thing, having done so much defensive work in the opening 32 minutes here. If they can hold out, it'll feel like they've scored a try. If they can keep it at 15-0. Blackrock so dangerous. Mark Walsh takes it forward now, and back we go for that penalty.
Yeah, it could be a card here, Conor. Looked like there was a try-scoring opportunity.
So we've got a deliberate knock-on by 14.
As Brian O'Flaherty tried to pass that ball inside.
Prevents a good attacking opportunity. Cynical offence, yellow card.
Could be a deliberate knock-on.
For me, it's cynical, considering where we are in the field. I need 14, please.
So it's Don Ryan is in a spot of bother here.
1 second. Okay. Johnny?
Oh.
Have you got me, Johnny? I just want to check the actions of 14 blue, so we're on deliberate knock-on. I just want to check and see if there's realistic cover or if it prevents a genuine attacking opportunity. Thanks.
Came from an unbelievable line break from Charlie Maloney. Initially from inside their own half.
This way, please. Thank you.
Nervous moments here for Dan Ryan. It'll all depend on how much cover was coming across and whether it was going to be a try-scoring opportunity.
We do have a TMO. That's the voice of Johnny Carville. You can hear communicating with the match referee Sam Holt. Crucial moments in the game. There's the break from Maloney. So strong, isn't he?
Yeah, and that's the one there. So it's Maloney's pass back inside into the passing channel.
Yeah, it's a deliberate knock-on, but I think there is cover inside.
I think that's quite harsh because he's running back as such. He can easily pull that his own way, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's different than most knock-ons where the defender is coming from the other side.
The yellow card, but there's not enough certainty of a probable try. So it's a deliberate knock-on. It's preventing a good attacking opportunity, so it's going to be a yellow card. 14.
So it is a sin binning for Don Ryan. I agree with you that he probably feels it's worth the risk when he's travelling backwards towards his own try line at that pace. There's a good chance he'll knock the ball.
Go quick.
They go for the corner. O'Shaughnessy.
Almost there, on the line, blue.
They're very alert, very quick. Almost caught us napping, didn't catch St. Michael's napping at all. So that's good defence initially. Can they hold out? Down to 14.
Short.
Still short. It's been a well-trodden path to the try line for Blackrock this season at senior cup level. They're so powerful from this kind of range. And have they got in again? They have.
This is number 8 now, Smith. I think is it. Yeah.
The referee in a perfect position. I mentioned the fact he got 2 in the quarter-final, 2 in the semi-final. Niall Smith already before half-time has 2 in the final.
You just see him here. Fairness, Michael's shell-shocked, obviously. Just saw the referee send off Dan Ryan to the sin bin for that deliberate knock-on, and then their kind of backs were turned when Conor Shaughnessy took the quick one. He nearly scored, but from there, again, Blackrock don't let him off the hook. Relentless ball recycling from Blackrock, so accurate in everything they've done so far, and this is going to be a massive half-time team talk for Andy Skeen and his coaches. Certainly up here it does seem to win is definitely with Michaels in the first half, but maybe that'll force them to play a little bit more and bring some of their outside backs into the game, because they have serious firepower out there too.
It's going to stay out to the right-hand side from O'Shaughnessy from the kicking tee, but Look at that scoreboard. 20 points to nil. One-way traffic.
Less than 2 minutes.
2 again then for Niall Smith. He's so destructive, and as you say, almost impossible to stop when it's relentless, close in, one-out carries.
Yeah, it's a nice kick-off from Quigley there, just kicking it short, and that's obviously very, very risky, but he nails it, fortunately.
On the front man. Yeah, you have
Michaels can't gather before it goes into touch. So one last chance for Michaels to...
Knocked into touch.
Was it? Knocked on. Yeah, so it should be pretty easy for Blackrock here just to deal with this. Maybe play one phase and then get it off and go into half-time 20-0 up.
Which I'm sure, even in their wildest dreams, they wouldn't have expected. So many recent meetings between the two teams have been so close. When they played earlier in the season, it was a 3-point game. Michaels won it actually by 20 points to 17. As I said, a 3-point game in last season's semi-final, when quite a few of the personnel involved are on show again today. Last play of the half, off it goes from a player who's been front and centre for the opening 35 minutes, Conor O'Shaughnessy. He see who has marshalled this Blackrock side brilliantly from the number 10 position. But 2 tries for the tight head prop Niall Smith and 1 from Michael Walsh means that it's Blackrock in the ascendancy. They lead Michaels by 20 points to 0 at half-time. Welcome back to the RDS then for the Leinster Schools Senior Cup final. It is one-way traffic at half-time. All the play in favour of Blackrock, who already halfway into the game will have their sights firmly set on a 71st Senior Cup title. It all started inside the opening 5 minutes from line-out.
Yeah, again, just getting this man on the ball. He's been outstanding. You know, he's someone I think Leinster Academy will have huge raps on, and Niall Smith, you know, that's if you run into that space, he's not going to be stopped. I mean, he's caused havoc every time he's carried. And then again, this is the pick and go game. This is Michael Walsh who gets over. Lovely just detail on that, and it comes from Hurton Michaels down the left-hand side first, then down the right-hand side, and this has been a big part of the game. The ability to play with balance, forward pack, and then obviously unleashing like Charlie Maloney here, and that's where the yellow card starts from. And then O'Shaughnessy takes a quick tap a couple of minutes later when the yellow cards happen, and from here it's just again big Niall Smith, just power through the gap, right through the middle of the ruck there, and it's a commanding lead at half-time, isn't it, Conor?
It really is, and he's got some significant personnel to nudge out of the way there. The likes of David Walsh and Rory Brown, you see, powerless to stop Niall Smith. 2 tries either side of that score from Michael Walsh. As I said, it's now 6 tries in the last 2.5 games. Brilliant against Ross Cray, Niall Smith, when Blackrock were in a real battle, 3 points apiece at half-time against Cistercian College, and just out-muscled and out-powered Ross Cray in that second half to win 25 points to 3. It was a not dissimilar story in many respects against St Mary's, when, as I mentioned, they scored 35 points without reply in the last half hour of the game. So one thing that Michaels know at half-time, Andy Skehan, you feel for them, Blackrock won't go away. It'll be a full 70-minute game. It's how Michaels can adapt their game plan to suit the conditions, or just figure out on their feet what's gone wrong so far.
Yeah, look, I think obviously when you're playing against the wind, you know, you have to keep the ball in hand, and I think Michaels maybe overdid the kicking game in that first half, particularly when their set piece was struggling. You know, Blackrock were doing such a good job on Michaels' line out. They had very little possession, so you know, they haven't really fired a shot yet, but they do have players, you know, David Lucy, Aidan Black, Charlie McConnell, Dan Ryan, you know, and Pat Wood. If they get the ball in space, they will do damage. So ironically, playing into the wind now should suit them, and it'll be just interesting to see if they can get enough possession, if they can tidy up that set piece, and also if Blackrock decided to kick the ball to them, or do they keep the ball in hand, which has been so successful for them.
Yeah, tidy up that set piece. A huge credit to Jack Pollard. He has managed the conditions really well. He's thrown brilliantly to find Donnacha Maguire and Tommy Butler, and they find themselves in a very, very strong position. It's a massive day out for both these schools. And Blackrock well and truly in the box seat with the whip hand. You wonder about the response from St Michael's. They're too good a side not to have a purple patch. They've lots of leaders in that team. David Walsh, James Sherwin, Joe Quigley, a multi-talented all-court number 10. Goes without saying that the first score of the second half, absolutely crucial. Well, he has been so prominent.
You know, some of these Blackrock players were in that final last year where Gonzaga came back from the dead, you know, and Michaels have to put a little bit of doubt in their minds. You really feel they have to score first and probably score early.
Jack Angelo, Mark Walsh, Conor O'Shaughnessy, Tommy Butler, they've seen it all before. They've been here for the big occasion. Michaels, as we know, haven't been here since 2019. As Andy Skehan rightly pointed out pre-game, though, their nemesis Blackrock are the only side to have beaten them in the Leinster Senior Cup because of the pandemic and other factors since 2019 when they last won the trophy. In a team that included the likes of Lee Barron, Jack Boyle. So away we go, straight down the centre of the pitch into the hands of the impressive Charlie Woodcock. Straight away, they have access into the game, Michaels, with a penalty.
Yeah, that's ideal. I wonder now, will they go for post here just to get a score? It's front of the post. No, Creedy's going to go to the corner.
They need points, and they need plenty of them. It's a bold strategy. It is a good kick.
So they did show a little bit of promise in one of the lineups they caught, where they managed to milk another penalty with a strong maul, but can they get the source of possession right?
Are you a receiver?
You'd imagine
Your receiver, yes?
Look to Walsh here.
He is the target. That's brilliant. Wonderful turnover. Tommy Butler got his hand in there. Great steal.
Leaving out blue. Hindmost. Step pillars.
Opportunity lost
Blue
for now for St Michael's at least. So that is an issue. Turning down points and not getting any return.
Yeah, and once again, you just see that Blackrock are just squeezing that area there. Michael Walsh is in. They're leaving the back because it's so hard to throw there.
On the line.
Michael's fans are just trying to get the team going.
How many?
So that Blackrock defensive
That's back
line
10
out
on TJ.
forcing Michaels to try and think, adapt, maybe overthink and overthrow, and straight into the hands of Niall Smith. So there's a primary
feet.
source of possession.
Back.
Michael's in a
Hindmost
spot
now.
of bother at line out time. And there's the power of the carry again from Blackrock. This time it's Donncha Maguire. He's had an excellent game in the set piece and in the loose. Smith again, relentless.
Use it, White.
Jack Angelo
On
there
the
wearing
hindmost,
number 8,
take a step
protecting
through.
alongside
Take one step through.
Tommy Butler. Lintner efficiently and effectively about his business all game.
Hold on now.
Quigley. Sometimes when you're chasing a score, you're forced to try things that maybe aren't on, but they need something. Doing Maguire, we've barely seen him carry ball yet. 37.5 minutes in. He's such a dangerous player, destructive player. David Walsh now.
12, leave it.
Sherwin. Quigley gets his head up and nudges one through towards that 10-metre line.
Yeah, tidy play by Quigley there. Good in the backfield, ran it back. I just think Michaels really need to get the likes of Walsh onto the ball. And maybe need to fire a few shots, you know, in that situation in the first half. Rock were able to go to the backs, you know, it's just playing the percentages, moving to play up the field, particularly when your lineout's not functional. That's a much better lineup ball.
That's brilliant. Great take from Fraser McKenna. Doing Maguire did exceptionally well. Ball's gone backwards from Quigley. He'll get another bite at it. Johnny O'Sullivan, the attempted tackle. Just drops one onto the laces and then taken out late, so that's a penalty, and it's a hefty collision.
Yeah, brilliant by Quigley.
Just a late
The
tackle
initial,
there.
he's in all sorts of trouble here, but just puts it on the toe.
Yeah.
You just see late follow through there from Blackrock, and
Time off.
both players are down and getting treatment.
Okay. Yeah, take it.
John Ryan there, the Leinster doctor, part of the Michael support team. His son went to the school, head of A&E in St Vincent's, brilliant guy. And Jack Angelo from Blackrock just getting some treatment. I think Quigley's going to be okay. I think both players will be okay, I'd imagine.
That's so two pivotal players. Jack Angelo, another of those players who's playing in a third consecutive final.
Yeah, that was the first line out, you know, in the right area of the field, and Michael's trying to play off, and just the passing isn't where it needs to be.
Yeah, I agree. Captain, that's against you for a late tackle.
So the penalty is against the Blackrock number 8, and yeah, that's another symptom of the difficulty of the conditions. Is just takes that element of confidence out of a free-flowing pass, and we're not seeing the likes of Charlie McConnell, David Walsh,
Number 8.
Rian Coogan in particular, and Sam Corrigan, all massive big ball carriers for St Michael's, and we haven't really seen them do the requisite damage yet. Shortly back to the full complement of 15 aside. Dan Ryan is poised to come back in. Yeah, they're figuring things out. That's good again from Doon Maguire. Same target, Fraser McKenna.
Yeah, that's smart. Take the heat off. The heat's off Fraser McKenna at the moment because they're double marking Walsh. A couple of great throws there from Doon Maguire.
Now here is Charlie McConnell. As I said, we've barely seen him. Maybe that's the reason. Chopped down brilliantly by Jack O'Neill. McKenna once more.
No 3.
Sherwin to Corrigan. More promising from a Michael's point of view. Quigley now. McConnell is lined up and taken the ground pretty quickly. Can't get any purchase. Coogan is ready to reload. That's what we didn't see in the first half. He's really destructive, powering those legs. Quigley now on the short pass to Rory Brown, but it's a brilliant tackle by Mark Walsh. Super defence.
Wait.
Sherwin again. Michaels have been forced back 15 metres. Quicker service though for Quigley, and there was also a break for David Walsh around the outside. Charlie McConnell. Important tackle from Blackrock just to bring Walsh down as he looked to skip free.
And away 5.
Tackle by Donnchadh Maguire. Tireless defensive effort from Blackrock, but it's much better continuity-wise from St. Michael's. Need to find a score.
Release 3.
Coogan again. Sherwin, Quigley. Trying to kick one through, and it ricochets all the way back beyond the 10-metre line. Picked up here by Walsh. Now, has he got the power and the pace? Oh, yes, he does! Mark Walsh gets in for his try. And out of nothing, that's a massive momentum swing in the game in favour of Blackrock.
Yeah, that's huge by Blackrock. In fairness, that's the first probably prolonged defensive set they've had to put together, and there's a huge hit in there on Rory Brown a couple of phases earlier, and Quigley's just trying to find that space in the backfield, but Walsh has been excellent. You know, his brother's already scored a try, and he just gets the perfect bounce here, and he has the pace to get away from Pat Wood. It makes a huge effort just to ankle tap him, but momentum was with Walsh, and that probably is a decisive score. Very hard to see Michaels being able to come back from here.
Big swing, big psychological blow for St. Michael's on the front foot for the first time really in the game. And now all the way back under their own sticks. Struck it well, but just a little bit narrow on the short side, and stays to the left of the uprights. 25 points to 0 it remains. A little bit of treatment there for the try scorer Mark Walsh, but he's quickly back up on his feet and seems okay. And the important thing from a Michael's point of view is that they take a little bit of credence that they can get back into that game from that passage of play. There were a little bit of misfortune attached to the kick through from Quigley, but they've got to find something pretty quickly.
That's a tackle out away, Blue.
That's a big hit, to be fair. Sam Corrigan.
On his opposite number, Jack Angelo in the thick of things once again from a Blackrock point of view.
By most. And he used it wide.
As you say, it was probably the first concerted period of pressure where we saw Blackrock on the defensive, and they were very good, equal to the task. And that's gone out on the full.
Yeah, it's a bit of a break for Michaels to get a chance now to try and launch something like Connor's. This scoreline is incredibly harsh in terms of what these both teams are like. I'd say these teams, I was very hard to call them coming into it. Obviously earlier on in the season, I think Michaels beat them in the friendly game, but Blackrock have brought an incredible performance in the final under massive pressure, and fully deserve to be well ahead, but that's what finals are for. They deal with pressure and executing.
Executing the line out much better now. That was good variation too to find Miles Berman that time. They're playing much better in the second half, St. Michael's. They've got to make it tell on the scoreboard though. And they will have the platform of a penalty. They'll have to go to the corner now. They need tries. Points no good really.
Yeah, good probe from Sherman, the captain, looking to lead. Great carry. Get him on the front foot. And just there for a second, looks like it opens up, and it's Jack Angelo who just a seatbelt tackle. That's his second penalty in a row against him, but no real malice in it. It'd be interesting if they decide to bring Chris O'Connor off the bench, who's been excellent. Scored 2 tries so far in this cup. A real dangerous running threat.
There's 2 penalty advances coming. This one here, and there's an infringement of them all over here. So
yeah, where was the on like kind of the 15?
Yeah, off the bench to score against Terranure and Gonzaga. Chris O'Connor, again a player with good experience. Played in the semi-final between these two sides last year.
Over here on the AR.
Yeah, just to reiterate that point that Bernard's making, when you consider that Gonzaga, an excellent side, full of running threat, and St. Michael's beat them 32 points to 0 in the semi-final. They also beat a very good and improving young Terranure side, 29 points to 21, when they could easily have been out of the game. And in round one, put 34 points on the board against a good Castleknock side.
No, fair point. Have spoken to.
It's been a tough week for St. Michael's. The Junior Cup team lost to St. Mary's in the semi-final, where St. Mary's will now go on to play Terranure. So it's great to see Terranure Marys, who kind of have been away from the top table for a little while, putting huge focus on their rugby programs and now starting to get rewards for it.
7 away.
David Walsh getting the rewards there of climbing high to pat that back on the Michaels side, and would find a colleague taken on by Fraser McKenna. Rian Coogan carries, and now Sam Corrigan lines up. Billy O'Donoghue on his shoulder and available. It's a little bit quicker now for Michaels. Almost over the ball as that man Mark Walsh. He loves a poach. That's better from Corrigan. Direct, and then it's spilled loose. Knock-on advantage for Blackrock, and look at the way they want to play from deep inside their own 22, and with that knock-on advantage is over. That's been touched a couple of times. Quigley under pressure, has the skill set to find a way out of those tricky situations, but this time the ball has not been kind to Michaels today. They're
holding on the ground. Not sure.
And Michaels are having no luck whatsoever. That was a brilliant carry, a couple of brilliant carries from Sam Corrigan, but he loses the ball in contact, and Quigley's just been chased down. Look at this Blackrock kick chase, and just there goes forward and he plays on the ground. Blackrock going to have a shot.
Number 1, is it? 9. Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead and do it, yeah.
change at scrum half for Blackrock. Albert Lindner has gone off, which means that Luke Coffey has come in.
Time's on, yeah? No, you have to take a legitimate effort.
As he measured that, that's a really good strike.
That's such a ruthless performance by Blackrock, just not giving Michaels any easy entries, making them fight for everything and taking every opportunity that they've been given.
So Ethan Black takes over restart duties. There's not too much we can say about that. It's been that kind of afternoon, unfortunately, on the big stage for St. Michael's.
Yeah, look, it's very difficult, obviously. Look, we know he can place kick as well. Unbelievably talented footballer, but just there you're trying to put it short so you can get the ball back and you take the risk, and unfortunately he overcooked it.
Flurry of changes there off the St. Michael's bench. Ed McLaughlin has come into that front row, as you can see, getting set for this scrum. That is Luke Coffey, hoping to follow in the footsteps of his older brother and become a Senior Cup winner for Blackrock. Michael's getting the penalty here at scrum time.
Number 3, overextended collapsing.
Yeah, goes against Niall Smith there, just a little bit overly aggressive. That's a great kick from Ethan Black into the wind, putting us forward just up outside the 22.
Yep. I head overextending on his side.
Again, it's scrappy, loose ball, but it's been snapped up by Donnchadh Maguire.
Use it. One stop.
Ben Connery, as you can see in there, wearing number 22 for St. Michael's, was a part of that raft of substitutions as Coffey controls things. Jeff Wall, meantime, in wearing 19 for Blackrock. There he is. Swirling kick, and Black has taken it, but he can't get too far. It has been relentless and ruthless from Blackrock so far. 49th minute of the game. Coogan takes it on. Sherwin, can he get this side moving? Can they find a way through with the likes of Charlie McConnell?
Release now, White. White, no
Gets
hands.
his knee to ground, so it's slow ball coming back though for Sherwin.
Roll 5.
Just these one-out runners doing Maguire that time, running straight into a hefty tackle from Dunican Maguire.
That's backwards off White for me.
Yeah, and the problem is
You're playing on the ground.
Michael do get a penalty there, but just they don't look like they're actually denting that Blackrock defensive line.
On the ground.
They have to go to that little chip space because Blackrock are just so comfortable dealing with that one-out running game of Michael's, which has worked really well for them so far in the cup. They've been able to run over teams, but just so far this afternoon, Blackrock have their number.
Yeah, agree.
You can't fault their endeavour. They'll continue to try, but it's demoralising scoreboard to try and eat into. And
Wasn't straight. White closing the gap.
this one doesn't go to hand.
Closing the gap first. White closing the gap.
Yeah, so it's free kick to Michaels.
Yeah, White. It's a free kick, closing the gap. Scrum called.
So they'll take a scrum.
They're closing the space.
Rock closing the space before the through was squint from touch from Doohan Maguire.
Yeah. Feet underneath now, okay? Feet underneath. Crouch. Bind. Set.
Sherwin feeds.
Gone down this side.
We'll just go again, I think will be the decision from Sam Holt here. They haven't had it all their own way in recent finals, Blackrock. Remember, if you think back to last year, that pulsating final 9-try final, 35 points to 31, defeated by Gonzaga. They also lost to a very good Belvedere College side in the 2017 final.
Crouch.
Swings and roundabouts 2022 won a final against Gonzaga by 31 points.
Set. Keep it up, keep it up.
So what do they have up their sleeve here?
Play on. That's a tackle release.
From that little switch play, Sherwin into some heavy traffic from the pass back from Connery, and taken on now by Ed McLaughlin. Coogan. That's another big tackle on him. Can't get any purchase at all. That's a little bit loose and pops up for Corrigan. Again, they're playing with penalty advantage St. Michael's here. Connery takes it on at pace. He's been heavily involved, and now Fraser McKenna.
Play on. Still playing advantage.
Still with that advantage. Sherwood funnels it out, and now it's been spilled all the while. We'll go back for the penalty.
Okay.
In fairness, Michaels aren't lying down. They're trying to get things going.
Number 7, ever at the highmost foot.
Particularly Corrigan, who obviously started the game as vice captain, and Ed McLaughlin off the bench. They're taking the game to Blackrock, but so far Blackrock have just looked like they've had their number. No matter what Michaels have thrown at them, they've been able to adapt and deal with it. Now we're going to look at this try. Just see quickly, looking for that ground in behind, and Walsh has had a huge impact on the game, as I said. Accomplished hurler as well.
All good.
Has the pace, because Pat Wood and David Lucy are really quick players, but they just can't get near him.
Order off.
And that's probably the killer for them. You know, we said Michaels needed to score first in the second half. Blackrock have added on 8 points.
Is that again?
Yeah, two very quick players in retreat, unable to make up the ground and make the tackle, which shows the pace of Mark Walsh.
Good body height, wind up to you, please, okay?
First time since 2013, as I mentioned, these two have gone toe-to-toe in a final. Rock won that one by 23 points to 20. Now, Corrigan off the base, but it's another big tackle. Mark Walsh back in position. David Walsh this time. Is there something here for St. Michael's? Fraser McKenna. Again, penalty advantage. Rock are treading a thin line here in terms of penalties conceded. They've been held up over the line, but it might be a card.
Time is off.
Too many pens.
Now I've got 2 wide offside. Yeah. The next penalty, somebody's going to go to the bin. Speak to your team.
So final warning against Jack Pollard was the player offside there.
On my whistle now.
Ed McLaughlin alongside Dewin McGuire for this top penalty.
Offside.
A little bit of variation. In comes Sherwin, funnels it to the left-hand side to Sam Corrigan. Blackrock have to stay onside here or it's a card and a sin binning, and Michael's going for the line. Good tackle. Jack O'Neill in the thick of things there. Fraser McKenna waits, 2 or 3 others in position also. Can they find their way to that try line? They may be down numbers here, Blackrock. It's another penalty advantage. Michaels seem destined to get there.
I'd say there's going to be a card. They were on a warning. Can they score beforehand?
They choose to go wide to Dan Ryan. Numbers momentarily to the left. Sherman backs his chances. Big tackle by Jack Anglo, the Rock captain. Taken on by Dewin McGuire. A couple of tries against Terranure in the quarter-final. Rock have forced Michaels back 3 or 4 metres. All the while they're with that penalty advantage. And potentially a card to come depending on who they single out, really.
2.
It's going to be a card.
You're offside. Too many penalties against your team.
It's just taking Michael so long to score, isn't it? You know, they're desperate to get a score on the board, but Rock relentless defensively. Jack Pollard, who's had an amazing game.
Where's your captain?
Brilliant set piece.
You've got 2 options. You got one here, or you got one.
And Michael's go back for another quick tap, you'd imagine.
Okay, on my whistle.
Trying to sort out the play. Is there a little element of disguise? No, it's the front door route, and only inches short. They almost got there.
Use it.
Straight on that first burst. Now they're over, surely. Yeah, referee's in a good position. Michaels get their try. They've worked so hard for it, and no surprise to see it's that man, David Walsh.
Yeah, look, they deserved that. They've really upped the ante the last 10-15 minutes. And no surprise you said it's Walsh.
You can bring it in on me here.
Top-class player. He's a huge future ahead of him. I struggled a little bit with a back injury last couple of weeks.
Should be, yeah.
But it's such a key player for them. He wanted to play in his final, and he's the one who finds that space. Blackrock has every man less. The first time Blackrock has shown any little weakness. We're quickly off now. Ethan Black will have to take this kick.
How long have you got in the kick, Gordon? 45 seconds.
Chris O'Connor has just come on. He's going to hold the ball for him.
So Ethan Black to add the extras if he can in really tricky conditions. Important kick because it will just instill a little bit of belief in this St. Michael's side against 14 players of Blackrock, that maybe they can find a little bit of a way back into this contest in the dying embers of the game. We know all about momentum shifts in schools rugby from recent history.
They need to score very quickly, Conor, though. It's very hard to see Rock, who've been miserly in defence, giving up 23 points.
Use it now.
Well, it's huge credit to Blackrock that they've kept the St. Michael's side scoreless for 55 minutes of the game. Most of that has been on the offensive and controlling territory and possession. Good take under pressure. Brian O'Flaherty's had a good game. A couple of chances out wide. didn't go his way, but it's 1 through 15 and beyond to the bench. They've all been excellent so far for Blackrock.
Use it!
No surprise, down to 14, taking as much time as they're allowed by the referee. Coffey sends it skyward.
Stop.
Chris O'Connor, can they make something happen? Inside the 22, touch on the 10-metre line over on that far side, a long way to the Blackrock try line from here. A couple of further changes in the offing.
Yeah, it looks like Rock are going to get their bench on. Just some fresh energy for the last 12 minutes. See how strong that wind is over there with the assistant referee's flag.
Strength of that breeze is just really puts into focus how well Blackrock played in the first half to score 20 points against it. Didn't really seem to benefit St Michael's, which is curious in the opening 35 minutes. Another scrum here, knock forward, Michael's put in.
Yeah, good pressure from Michael's there. Ed McLaughlin putting in a huge hit. Walsh again, good at that seam. Just from here they get a little bit mixed up. Smith thinks there's a pass there at the back, and you see McLaughlin flying in. Gets a turnover. I really feel Michael's have to start keeping the ball low. There's no point kicking it out. You lose a minute and a half off the clock. I know they're deep in their own half, but they're going to have to be brave here, show a little bit more ambition.
Crouch! Bind! Sit!
Well, it's a penalty.
Second time coming through early.
Yeah.
Penalty. Twice in the same offence.
They have been warned. So they need to be in a hurry here, St Michael's. Approaching the 10-minute mark.
Yeah. Good there now. Yeah.
All the way over the top. It was knocked on by Michael's hand and touched, in any case, by Blackrock.
That's advantage over.
The kick away, it's advantage over. They have to run this now, Michaels. O'Connor.
7 out.
Still Rock come up in unison, fast and hard. Paddy Moore's made a lot of tackles today. Coogan manages to hold on to that. If only just, and O'Connor now will dink one over the top. Snaffled up and collected brilliantly by Brian O'Flaherty. Made that look easy, had to improvise, wasn't sure what was behind him or beside him. Took it really well, and it's another half opportunity goes a begging for Michaels. Blackrock won't mind. They can rinse and repeat and just continue this pattern for the next 10 minutes. It's Michaels who have to offer something different.
Advantage.
Nearly take a quick tap here because the line-out's under pressure. Good from Chris O'Connor there. He takes that ball from Luke Coffey in the backfield and runs it back with real intent.
Yellow card sanction has elapsed. Back to 15 aside, 9 minutes to go.
See there.
That's great take. Fraser McKenna did exceptionally well there.
Timing. Let's carry back in.
Ben Conway takes it on now. Chris O'Connor to Rian Coogan. Jack O'Neill's
explosive, isn't he, Coogan?
He is. Michaels would have liked to have seen him with more ball in hand this afternoon. Now that's gone forward off a Blackrock hand.
Tackle now, release White. Hold the mark to
Corrigan again.
Leave it now.
Hasn't lacked for effort or work rate all afternoon, the St Michael's number 8, but there's a measure of that tackling again. Donnchadh Maguire and Jack O'Neill. You could pick out 3 or 4 more who must have made a dozen tackles plus, always forcing Michaels backwards every available opportunity. Nothing given up easily at all.
No. Advantage.
Coogan again, he can't make headway, but they do have offside advantage. That's good service from O'Connor as he brings Ed McLaughlin in flat to the line, calling for numbers far side. Blackrock still, though, Michaels with that penalty advantage. Walsh. Doing Maguire.
Ball is available.
Blackrock are just doing enough to slow that ball down, aren't they? But fairness to Michaels, are coming at him in waves now, getting lots of pace. But it's a big hit.
Big hit after big hit, even those off the bench. Brian Walsh that time.
Yeah, really brave by Michaels. A lot of teams would just let their heads drop, but Sean White is such a good side. Another warning for Jack O'Neill.
You're still giving away penalties. Have a word with your team, please.
How we receive penalties, you say, sir?
No, you're giving away penalties
sorry,
again. So have a word with your team. You're in risk of losing somebody else.
Well, when they've been in attack, you use the word ruthless. I think when they're in defence, it's been relentless.
Yeah,
it's just tackle.
Relentless. Look at with a comfortable lead like this, they can afford to infringe quite a bit. They know Michaels have struggled a little bit at set piece time, and every minute that goes by, they're a minute closer to lifting that trophy. Really hard position for Michaels to be in, just knowing that the game is probably done.
It's not going to script in that regard. We thought it would be nip and tuck and so tight. There's no real evidence to suggest that it would have been one-way traffic, and 20 points to 0 at half-time. It's so difficult to pick it up second half, and then that sucker punch of the Mark Walsh try really was game over.
Good carry again from Rian Coogan.
Leave it now, Captain 12, leave it.
They'll keep going to their credit. Fraser McKenna takes it on as well. He's carried brilliantly. Charlie McConnell now as they go wide on the outside.
Advantage.
Cheered like a try by the Blackrock supporters away to our right-hand side as they stand firm again.
Yeah, there's a little nasty injury here on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
That's Ethan Black, isn't it?
Yeah, just trying to keep that ball alive. But again, there's just no space. You know, the pressure from Blackrock coming across. Michael's desperate to keep that ball inside. Fairness to Michael's, they're throwing everything they can at Blackrock now, but it's been a very accomplished performance from Blackrock, both with the ball and both without it.
So it was, so for me, pushing through the mark, and it was a second defence. So that was a penalty. So it's a good thing. I hope they're taking this. I just need this control to going into it.
The Blackrock side that last beat St Michael's in a cup final at senior level contained the likes of Jeremy Loughman, Ollie Yeager, Nick Timoney. Charlie Rock was the captain that day, Gary Ringrose as well, and there's certainly 3 or 4 contenders out there to follow in a similar pattern at least.
Oh yeah, we're going to see lots more. Both sets of team players in it. Some will be back for a cup next year, and the fellas in 6th year go on and push to try and be in Leinster Academy in a couple of years, play for Irish under-20s. This won't define either team. It's just nice for the team who win it to have the silverware and the cup medal, but both teams' future is very bright.
St Michael's team that day, just to even up the ledger, you think of David Walsh and Joe Quigley today, had Ross Maloney, Ross Byrne, Cian Kelleher and Nick McCarthy.
Hold the push now, boys. Stay.
So Coffey to that man, Mark Walsh again.
Leave it now, Blue. Step.
Distance not really a factor, doesn't really matter. Blackrock happy just to clear their lines. They would have liked another 10 or 15 metres. Paddy Clancy.
Yeah, and what an impact he had off the bench in the semi-final. He's back again next year. Extremely talented. There was great pressure there from Walsh and Berman just to get to his toe.
Yeah, we're not going to change the course of history in the last 3 or 4 minutes here, and it's disappointing and demoralising for St Michael's. They worked so hard to get here, and I did wonder when they were so impressive in that game against Gonzaga. They already played their final. That's not the case. They brought everything to this second half. Full credit to them and their coaching team and their players and the bench. And they've kept going right to the end, but it's Blackrock's day, and it has been for a long time in this game. Super performance.
Louis McGee has come on there, loose head. Big penalty, obviously devastating for Michaels. Not straight in the line there, didn't give away a penalty at the scrum, and Blackrock get a chance to exit quite comfortably.
Such disappointment, of course, last year, having beaten Gonzaga comprehensively in 2022. They were beaten at the death 12 months ago in a superb final. It's not been that nick and tuck tight 9-try game this time around. Blackrock have stamped their authority on the game from early doors and maintained it for the full 68 minutes so far. Don Ryan shows his wheels and flips it back inside to Ben Conroy. Still the tackles come. Mark Walsh, he's had a massive game all around the park. Ed McLaughlin has done superbly off the bench. O'Connor. A few tired bodies out there on both sides.
Space on here. That would.
McKenna can't quite get his pass away. Again, they're out of that line quickly. Charlie Maloney did just enough.
Yeah, just when Michaels looked like they created 2v1, Maloney again, he's been so impressive, but he makes a great read in defence and forces that ball to go into touch.
Hit the Blackrock shoulder.
Big hit on Fraser McKenna.
Blue ball. No, it's hit one of your players' shoulders.
That was a brilliant finisher. He would have been incredibly hard to stop from there, but just haven't been able to get the ball to him.
All good.
Yeah, they've lived off scraps. They've struggled at times in the line-out, and as a result, they haven't been able to bring that backline game that we've seen put other teams to the sword in the competition. Space here again as Blackrock are a little bit narrow, perhaps for the first time in the afternoon, but what a tackle that is by young Paddy Clancy.
Yeah, he needs to make that. It was a lovely back play from Michaels.
Doing McGuire. Miles Smith can't get hands on Black, and through the hands they go to Miles Berman. That's better. Charlie McConnell now. Jack O'Neill. He's been tireless all afternoon. Just couldn't quite get himself out of the way in time, so it's penalty advantage. Black again pulls one out the back and space here. Maybe we'll see Pat Wood in a little bit of space. Immediately it's shut down. David Walsh still going to the bitter end. O'Connor again to Coogan this time. No way through for Rory Brown. O'Connor again. That's really good flourish from St Michael's now. So many players in off the bench contributing. They'd love a score just to finish things off.
Advantage over now. 7 off your feet, leave it.
Can they get another consolation try?
there.
Scant consolation it would be, but they would deserve it on the balance of their second half performance and the last 10 minutes in particular. Now that's almost loose. Fraser McKenna did well, reacted quickly.
Short now and roll, 7 out.
That Blackrock line beckons, but still the tackles. Or have they managed to hold the Michaels player up? No, tackle release is the call from Sam Holt. Good line, driving line, all the power.
Yeah, fair play to Michaels. He's shown unbelievable resilience. Even when they knew the game was gone, wave after wave. But it just shows you how hard it is to break Michaels or Blackrock down. That even at the death, Michaels had to play multiple phases. Big Dan Ryan, who's had probably a late notice that he was going to play. He's had a great game, but just here, Blackrock just did everything they can to slow the ball down. And
yeah, good finish from Dan Ryan. Full credit to him. Took a nice line from deep. Used his power to force his way over. That is it. It's all over. It is Blackrock's day at the RDS in Dublin. It is title number 71. Jack Angelo and his team have been absolutely brilliant from 1 to 15 and off the bench. It has been a performance full of power and pedigree and lots of attacking thrust as well. A couple of tries for Niall Smith. One apiece for the likes of Michael Walsh and Mark Walsh as well. They turned around with a 20-0 lead at half-time, and that try from Mark Walsh in the 42nd minute, ultimately decisive. There was no way back thereafter for St Michael's. A brilliant performance. Runaway winners, and you can't really argue.
They are the most dominant school in Leinster School's history, but they will appreciate these cups are hard won, particularly over the last 10 or 12 years. More and more schools are organised, very well coached, lots of talent spread across the whole province. And you know, today's performance was probably as good as any I've seen from a schools team in a long time. And unfortunate for Michaels to run into Blackrock on a day where they were just nearly picture perfect. As we said, both sides of the ball so well organised, nearly error-free, and you know, Michaels threw everything at them, but just the scoreline 20-0 at half-time was a huge ask. And then when Mark Walsh scored the first try of the second half, and then Conor Shaughnessy tapped over a penalty, it was highly unlikely Michaels could do it, but they tried everything in their power. Bench gave them impact, like Ed McLaughlin, Ben Conroy, etc. came on, but again, Blackrock weren't giving them anything, made them fight for every last inch, and fully deserved winners on the day.
So confirmation once again then of the full-time score in the 2024 Leinster Schools Senior Cup final reads Blackrock College 28, St Michael's 14. Great day for Justin Vanstone on his Blackrock coaching ticket. And just to pick up confirmation of the full-time score once again in the Leinster Schools Senior Cup final reads Blackrock College 28, St Michael's 12. Difficult afternoon for the goal kickers. Michaels couldn't add that conversion to that late Dan Ryan try. So many standout performers for Blackrock, not just today but across the competition, but you can't overlook the performances of the likes of Niall Smith, Conor O'Shaughnessy, particularly in that first half against the breeze, the way he controlled the game.
Yeah, he was excellent, and yeah, just the whole way Blackrock were able to, I suppose, play into the wind. I thought that their centres were excellent, particularly Charlie Woodcock as a distributor. he threw so many really good passes that got around that hinge defence of St. Michael's and put Blackrock away. And we already mentioned Mark Walsh and his brother. They got a try each, and were really, really good performers on the day. Yeah, and they totally deserve it based on their performance.
Well, as we said, to put 54 points on a very good St. Mary's side was excellent. Brilliant support, brilliant occasion at the RDS. A wonderful crowd, it's worth saying again. They were still pouring in 5-10 minutes into the game. At one stage, actually, we were looking a little bit anxiously to our left-hand side to the stand behind the goal, wondering where they were going to put everyone.
Yeah, it didn't look like there was any seats for a huge crowd. And look at the two big schools. You see these Blackrock kids here now, in front of their pupils, parents, families. It's an absolutely massive day for them. It's a moment they'll never forget.
Yeah, it never ceases to amaze me, even when you look at Cian Healy at the Aviva last night. He still remembers every minute of that game back in 2005 when Belvo won after such a long barren spell. It's a big, big moment, no matter how far in the game you go.
It's a moment shared with normally your best friends, and that's that's what makes it very special. Going over to the past pupils up in the far corner now. Then they'll come back and they'll get the cup from Jack Anglo's mum, will present it to him. Part of the tradition of the school's cup.
Exchange of flowers, and then Barbara Angelo will get her big moment to present her son with the trophy. There's the former pupils who've been down this road before.
Yeah, and some of those players would have lost the final last year against Gonzaga, where they were hot favourites, and you know the pain that comes with that.
So 3 times now Rock have beaten St. Michael's in the decider, 06 and 2013, 2024 to that list now. '13 and 14, 2018, 2022, and now 2024. They don't often go too long without lifting the trophy. Some big players in Blackrock colours have got their hands on that trophy in the past. Jack Angelo will be the latest name to add to that esteemed list very, very shortly indeed. And then the celebrations will start in earnest.
My earliest memory of schools rugby was the first year in Newbridge College when we played Blackrock in the first round, and they went on to win the cup easily. Victor Costello, Shane Byrne were the 2 players on that team I remember, and a dominant team. And yeah, this Blackrock team, there's been as good as any of them.
Okay, well, unfortunately, because of FA Cup quarter-final commitments, the small matter of Manchester United against Liverpool at Old Trafford, we have to leave you from the RDS. But it is Blackrock's day. They have beaten St. Michael's, and for the 71st time in their history, they are the kingpins of Leinster Schools Rugby. They are the champions. Thanks for your company on St. Patrick's Day, and goodbye for now.
I'd like to welcome the Leinster Branch President, Billy Murphy, to address you all. If we could have your attention, lads, for a few minutes, okay? Thank you very much.
Well done to both sides. I know for St. Michael's College, you came today, you weren't successful, but all of you have done yourselves your school, your parents and your families proud. So commiserations. And for Blackrock College, a fantastic performance today. Worthy winners. Congratulations and well done. And now I'd like to call on the referee and the officials for a short presentation. Obviously, without the officials, the game doesn't happen, so please show your appreciation for the ref.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, our officials today were referee Sam Holt, our assistant referees Patrick Reedy, Robbie Jenkinson, Keith Spendlove, David Robb, and our TMO is John Carville. Nice warm round of applause for our officials, please. I think also while this presentation is happening, lads, to all the mums and dads and the minders and the background staff on both teams who have worked Trojan work during the season to get both teams here today, let's give them a really big round of applause. Now, as is tradition, and a lovely tradition it is too, that the captains of both teams present a bouquet of flowers to their opponents' mums. So could I call on the two captains, Jack Angulo and James Sherwin, to present a bouquet of flowers each to the mothers, they being Barbara Angulo and Maeve Lynch. All right, folks. Okay, folks, thank you very much indeed. Let's present the medals to our runners-up, please, and they will be presented by the St. Michael's captain's mum, by Maeve Lynch. So if you could have the lads over, we'll call you over in 1 sec now. Ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause for St. Michael's. Lads, as I call your names to make you up to get your medals, and well done to you all. Okay, 15, David Lucy. On you come. David Lucy. 14, Dan Ryan. Come on in. 14, Dan Ryan. In you come. 13, Ethan Black. 12, Charlie McConnell. 11, Patrick Wood. 10, Joe Quigley. 9, and your captain, James Sherwin. 8, Sam Corrigan, who's the assistant captain. Also 7, Rory Brown. 6, Joe Elliott. 5, Fraser McKenna. 4, David Walsh, assistant captain. 3, Rian Coogan. 2, Doohan McGuire. 1, Billy O'Donoghue. And the replacements today: 16, Matthew Furlong. 17, Ed McLaughlin. 18, Dan McKenna. 19, Miles Berman. 20, Owen Twomey. 21, Chris O'Connor. 22, Ben Conroy. 23, Dan Hassett. Again, a big round of applause. Let's hear a huge cheer for these guys. They got here today. The final, St. Michael's. Now, before we present the winners' medals, could I invite the winning captain? Could I invite the winning captain? Thank you, lads. Thank you very much for 1 moment. Thank you very much. Could I invite the winning captain, Jack Angulo, from Blackrock College, to say a few words? Jack? Let's hear it for the winning captain.
I just want to start off by saying a huge thanks to Michaels. Joining Blackrock in first year, Michaels were always the team to beat, and you've made my 6 years playing rugby just so much more enjoyable. Just constant competition and tough games. And I know the score didn't go the way you wanted, but heads high. You did your schools proud, did yourselves proud. So 100%, yeah. I just want to give a huge thanks to Leinster Branch. Without them, this competition couldn't happen. And like, as you see every round, it's great entertainment, great rugby, great display of what schools are about. I just want to give another big thank you to everyone involved in Blackrock. Even sheerly from that noise just shows the support you give us, and it's absolutely amazing. Couldn't do it without you. And finally, I just want to give a huge thanks to my squad, my team, my coaches. They've been unbelievable all year. And we set a goal at the start of this year, just to win this cup behind me. And I'm just delighted we got to do that this year. Cheers.
Now I'd like to call on Barbara to present the winners' medals to Blackrock. You ready, lads? You ready? Crowd, are you ready? All right, let's do it. Up for your medals, first of all. 15, Charlie Maloney. 14, Derry Maloney. 13, Charlie Woodcock. 12, Mark Walsh. 11, Brian O'Flaherty. 10, Conor O'Shaughnessy. 9, Albert Lindner. The front row, 1, Paddy Moore. 2, Jack Pollard. 3, Niall Smith. 4, Tommy Buckler. 5, Delica McGuire. 6, Michael Walsh. 7, Jack O'Neill. 16, Michael O'Sullivan. 17, Louis McGee. 18, Donny Graham. 19, Jeff Wall. 20, Brian Walsh. 21, Luke Coffey. 22, Paddy Clancy. 23, Johnny O'Sullivan. And your captain, number 8, Jack Angulo. Time for the presentation. Time for the presentation. So I'd like to call on our Bank of Ireland representative, David Moore, to hand the trophy to Barbara Angulo. Barbara will present the trophy to the team.
So this is the moment that Jack Angulo will have trained for, dreamed of and hoped for, and there is no disputing that Blackrock have owned this Leinster Schools Senior Cup final. It has been their day by a distance. They have beaten a very good St Michael's side with a complete performance, a brilliant first half display. They backed it up in the second half, and that man with the captain's armband, Jack Angulo, lifts aloft the trophy again and follows in the footsteps of the likes of Gus McCarthy, Liam Turner, Charlie Rock, Nick Timoney in the recent past, and he adds his name to that long and illustrious list. of Blackrock captains. Blackrock champions for the 71st time.